Hi, everybody. Welcome to Dan on Sports. We are live on Substack. It is a Wednesday afternoon, and we're doing our picks for kicks week 11 a bit earlier this week because, as you know, I follow the three teams in my area, the Giants, the Jets, the Patriots, and then I pick two other games to total 5 games per week, except when you've got the Jets playing the Patriots and the Giants playing the Patriots or the Giants playing the Jets. Then we throw in another game to bring you 5 picks per week. Now, I had a bad week last week. I was 1-4 for the week. Ouch. And that's after going 4-1 the week before. So what does that mean? It means I'm back to 2 games under 500 for the season at 24-26 as we enter week 11. But we're going to go over my picks. There you see them, picks for kicks. And that's the reason we have the title, Picks for Kicks. We have fun doing this. I'm not placing any wagers on these games. You do what you've got to do. Be responsible. But anyway, let's take a look, beginning with the Thursday night game between the New England Patriots and the New York Jets in Foxborough. And as you see, the Jets are getting 12.5 points in this game. 12.5. And I know they're coming off of 2 straight victories. Take the Patriots. Patriots have won 7 in a row. They're at home. They are on fire. You know they hate the Jets. This is a rivalry that goes way back. And you know they're going to want to put a hurting on the Jets. And I believe they will put a hurting on the Jets. Look, the Jets have won 2 in a row. That first win coming against Cincinnati, where the Bengals totally collapsed in the fourth period, at home no less. It's astounding to me that the defensive coordinator still has a job with the Bengals, but let that go. And then last week they played the Browns. It might be, you look at the figures on this, and it might be the worst offensive performance by a winning team in the NFL since 1965, 60 years ago, but the Jets won. They played the lowly Browns. I do not think the Jets are going to go to Foxborough and dominate the Patriots. I really believe that the Patriots are going to win by 2 touchdowns. So there you go. Excuse me. 2 touchdowns. Live, baby. There's nothing like live. And so we're not going to edit that out when we put it up for everybody, and this is going out to just the paid subscribers today. But that's the way it is, live, baby. And anyway, the Jets, I just don't see it. I think the Patriots are going to blow them out. So there's my first pick, and that's why we're doing this early, because the Jets and the Patriots are playing on Thursday Night Football. So take the Patriots. They will cover. That brings us to the Giants-Packers game on Sunday. Very intriguing game, only because the Giants will be playing under Coach Mike Kafka. And if you saw my previous video, you know I'm rooting for Kafka. I think Kafka could be the next head coach of the New York Giants next year. In other words, as I wrote and put on the video, the next head coach of the New York Giants could be the current head coach of the New York Giants. And Jameis Winston's going to be the quarterback. I look for a lot of energy from the Giants. Apparently, the more you read about Dable, the more he had lost the team. And Kafka brings a certain energy. He's head coaching material. He's been interviewed for 8 head coaching jobs. He's in his late 30s. He not only has coached in the NFL, he was on Andy Reid's staff. He played in the NFL and played under Andy Reid. If you saw the video, you saw my case that Kafka could very well be in line to succeed Kafka as the head coach of the New York Giants. Bottom line is, if Kafka doesn't get the job after this season, and he's auditioning for it now, then he's going to be interviewed for a job someplace else. I'm rooting for Kafka, and I look for the Giants to be competitive in this game, but the Packers are giving the Giants 7 points. I think the Packers are going to win by more than 7. I know they're playing in New Jersey, but let's face it. You've got Coach LaFleur, whose job is on the line with the Packers. Packers losing 2 in a row. at home. Think about that for just a moment. The Packers, picked by some to go to the Super Bowl, losing 2 in a row at home to Carolina and then to Philadelphia. And that was the only game I got right. That was the Eagles beating the Packers. And the Eagles were getting points, I believe. Anyway, the Eagles won the game. And if you bet the Eagles and went with the point spread, you won. If you went with my pick, that my only selection that was right out of the 5. I just don't see the Giants beating the Packers simply because the Packers are coming off of the 2-game losing streak, and they're mad. They are heaping mad. And I think the defense is going to have a difficult time against Green Bay. So even though the Giants are at home, even though the Giants are going to be energized under new coach Kafka, I see the Packers winning this game by more than 7 points. There's some interesting games on the docket this week. So let's take a look at some of the others. You've got the Chiefs and the Broncos. They're playing that game in Denver. I mean, Denver has been winning these games by the skin of their teeth. And the Broncos are getting 3.5 points at home. That's a nice look. I don't see the Chiefs losing. And I don't see the Chiefs just barely eking out a win. I see them winning by more than 3.5 points. Well, they're favored in the game. I mean, you think Kansas City's going to go 5-5 on the season? I don't see it. This is a good Chiefs team. This is a Chiefs team which could go to the Super Bowl. That's how good they are. And they lost a tough one in their last one. And Kansas City is going to win by more than 3.5 points. And I know the Broncos, they're the home team, and they're getting points, and they're 7-2, but they're a very generous 7-2. And I think Kansas City's going to win this game big in Denver. This is a good old-fashioned AFL rivalry, by the way, so it should be a fun game. But go with the Chiefs. That brings us to the Rams and Seahawks. This is an interesting game. The Seahawks are getting 3 points in this game. This is one of those games. What are they? Both 7-2, tied for first in the NFC West. This is one of those games where you really have to pick the home team here. In other words, if the Seahawks were at home, I'd be picking the Seahawks. I came this close to picking the Seahawks because I think the Rams are due for a blip on the screen. And they've been playing tremendous football. They annihilated the 49ers on Sunday. They took care of business, making up for that loss to San Francisco earlier in the season. They are the team that could probably go to the Super Bowl in the NFC. You could make the case they're the best team in the NFL. But the Seahawks are right there with Sam Darnold. So this is going to be a fun game. A lot of interest, like I said, a lot of interesting games on the schedule. This is going to be a fun game, but go with the Rams, give the points, and I'm saying go with the Rams because they're playing at home. That brings us to Lions-Eagles. And in this game, the Lions are getting 2.5 points. The Eagles are the home team. Lions are going to win. And, I mean, getting those 2.5 points particularly. Eagles are playing at home, but they're coming off of a Monday night game. They've won some close games recently. They've also lost a couple of games. And I know they're at home, but it's a short week because they played on Monday night. I know the Packers are also coming off of a short week, and they had to travel, but I think they're loaded for bear and want to beat the Giants and going to beat the Giants convincingly. They have to have a convincing win. But back to the Eagles. Eagles and the Lions. Lions are playing better football, and I know they lost to the Vikings, but I think this is a statement game for the Lions. So that's what I mean by playing better football. They're going to have to play better football. Even though they lost to the Vikings at home, the Lions view this as a statement game in many ways. They're going to go to the playoffs. They want to make a statement. They want to make a statement against the defending Super Bowl champion Eagles, and they're getting 2.5 points. I like the Lions in this one. So, to review, and again, I am, as you see the numbers, 24-26 on the season. I like the Patriots by more than 12.5 points over the Jets. The Packers by more than 7 points over the Giants. The Chiefs to win by more than 3.5 over the Broncos, even though the Broncos are the home team. The Rams to win by more than 3 points over the Seahawks, the Rams being the home team, and the Lions getting 2.5 on the road against the Eagles. Take the Lions and the points. We'll see. Be responsible in your wagering. I do not wager, but I love to do this. Picks for Kicks. It's become a regular feature on the Dan on Sports newsletter. I know people have fun with it. A lot of people make fun of me. Hey, that's all right. I got broad shoulders. Do whatever you want. That guy doesn't know how to pick. He couldn't pick out one car in a 2-car parade. But the bottom line is, those are my picks. That's how I feel. 24-26 on the season. Can you believe week 11 already? I can't believe it. Week 11. And here we are going at it in what is going to be, I think, a fun weekend of NFL games. And it begins on Thursday night. Patriots, Jets. This is going to be a game where the Patriots are going to make a major, major statement. I know you're probably thinking, well, they've already made some statements. They're 7-2. They'll make a huge statement here. And then some big games this week. Should be a lot of fun. That's going to do it for Dan on Sports and Picks for Kicks, week number 11. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. See you later.